Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks and welcome to another breaking news LEGO video. Now in my time zone it is pretty late at night, so I will not be appearing physically in this video, but I just had to run down and quickly throw together a video when I saw these images come out. Thanks to Amazon Spain, we now have official, very clear, relatively HD photos of some of the new 2021 summer LEGO Harry Potter sets. Now this wave we are specifically getting 4 retail line sets. We have clear pictures of 2 out of the 4, and somehow 2 of the remaining sets have also leaked on Amazon Spain. However, those images are pretty blurry. You can see them right here, but there's not a lot of detail we can get out of them. Now that being said, we actually have seen these sets before. These images leaked several months ago actually on a retailer, but unfortunately they were highly confidential images. I chose not to cover them because I do want to stick very closely to LEGO's leak policy, in which case if there's an image that comes out with a confidential watermark, we are not allowed to share them. So I definitely wanted to stick to that. That being said, these images do not have confidential watermarks and are very clear HD official images from LEGO. As such, I think it's generally pretty fair game that I can cover these, especially because they were leaked by an official retailer, that being Amazon Spain. Now just a quick bit of context for these sets. LEGO Harry Potter is celebrating its quote-unquote 20th anniversary this year. That being said, the theme has not been live for many of those years, so not really sure if you can really call it an anniversary, but that is what it's being marketed as, and as such they're doing something very similar to what they're doing for, say, Ninjago's 10th anniversary, which is making golden versions of minifigures and having a special golden minifigure in each set. LEGO actually showed off these golden figures in a social media post publicly a while back, so you can see them in all their glory here. There also is some sort of a collectible wizard card gimmick included. Unfortunately, this kinda looks like it's very similar to Video, such that the collectible tile is 2x2 tiles with random prints on it, and it says 6 random tiles included in the sets, so if you're looking to collect them all, then you probably are going to have to go to Bricklink because it does appear that these are random tiles. The one last thing that I do want to note generally about these sets is that LEGO actually had a defined style for their brand new Harry Potter line. They actually introduced this all the way back in 2018 with their Great Hall set, and they've been creating expansions for that ever since. However, these sets appear to break the mold. They are compatible with each other, but are not compatible with the current ongoing line of Hogwarts castles. Who knows if this will be the new style and set a precedent going forward, or this is just special for the 20th anniversary of the theme. Personally, since these are a little bit more juniorized than what we used to get, I would really rather have what we were getting other than these, but it is still interesting to see a different style, and these sets actually are quite similar to some of the first vintage LEGO Harry Potter sets, featuring those sand green roofs and a much more simple building style as well as a modular display. Starting off with the first and largest set here, we have set number 76389 Hogwarts Chamber of Secrets. This set, I think, can easily be said is the best of the wave. It's a really fantastic set and is about the same quality as some of the other more modern LEGO Harry Potter castle expansions we've been getting, despite technically being in this more juniorized style. One of the major mistakes that it fixes from the 2018 onwards line of Harry Potter is that it actually gives us a sort of fully molded Basilisk, or at least the head of one. Obviously you can see the rest of it is just brick built, but it definitely is a major improvement over the original 2018 Basilisk, which was purely made out of standard bricks. That was also all black, not really color accurate to the film, and this one is actually quite on par with the original LEGO Basilisk mold, which is much beloved by fans for being a classic LEGO animal sculpt. And speaking of new molds and new animals, we actually get a brand new print for the LEGO Owl mold. We also get a new complete mold for the Pixies from Gilderoy Lockhart's defense against the Dark Arts class in a very memorable scene in the movie. Thankfully, they've included 2 of them in the set, which is a pretty fun new animal mold. Moving on, we actually do get some brand new exclusive dual molded recolors of some Ninjago stuff, believe it or not. The snake statues in the Chamber of Secrets are actually the Pyro Viper mold, all the way back from Ninjago in 2019. It's actually really interesting because this summer, LEGO is bringing back both of the Pyro Viper molds from summer of 2019. Those are actually almost completely discontinued, I thought, but they are actually bringing them back and recoloring them. In the Ninjago Season 15 Seabound sets, we are getting the smaller Viper head in a completely brand new dual molded color scheme. And now this Harry Potter set includes the Esphira mold, which is one of the larger, more frilled out snake molds with a stony gray color as well as transparent green, which looks fantastic as a recolor. And I'm really glad that LEGO is taking these generally theme specific stuff and actually making it such that you can use them in other themes in different molds. I really commend this initiative. We also get the Hedwig mold with the wings furled out in pearl gold as a statue. This was specifically meant to evoke the podium in which Dumbledore was speaking in the first movie. Now, in terms of the minifigure selection, some of these are repeats of what we've gotten before, but the vast majority of them are actually brand new. Something that's really cool about the new minifigures, especially even the ones that we've already gotten figures for, is that stuff like Nearly Headless Nick has been given a significant upgrade. In the original 2018 Great Hall set, he was generally just a solid skin color. This time, the entire minifigure is glow in the dark. The last time I can remember they did that was all the way back in 2012 with the Monster Fighters Mummy, so it's really cool to see a purely glow in the dark figure appearing in Harry Potter. We also get a Tom Riddle figure here, which is very similar but a little bit different to the book exclusive that we got previously, and Dumbledore has a much brighter outfit himself. Even the students seem to have new outfits and some new facial expressions, particularly for Ron right there. As far as the set itself, I'd say this is relatively accurate to the movies, if not a little bit juniorized compared to what we normally get. Of course, you've got the Parseltongue door to the Chamber of Secrets looking very accurate using the 2017 Ninjago Hands of Time snake mold. We've also got a huge brick-built statue. The Basilisk can actually enter and exit through its mouth just like in the movie, despite it being a smaller hole. The entire snake actually fits through, which is a really fun play feature. And of course we have a slide going all the way down from the top to the bottom as an entrance to the Chamber of Secrets. Interestingly enough, we actually get a complete redo of the Great Hall. It is a little bit more simplified again from the previous Great Hall that we got just a few years back and actually is still available on shelves, although it is nice to get a refresher, and I'm sure they'll be retiring that very popular set soon now that the set has actually been released. But now I think is a good time to move on from the set. This is set number 76388, Hogsmeade Village Visit. Unlike the prior set, this is the first time that anything Hogsmeade related has been done in the modern line of Harry Potter. And again, while slightly juniorized, I'd say this is generally a very good representation and definitely better than literally any representation that we've gotten in the past. One of the pros to this set is that it actually doesn't have to fit within the confines of the new Hogwarts modular building system because of course it doesn't even make any sense for this to be connected to Hogwarts, so the buildings can kind of stand on their own. I do really appreciate the architecture of the 3 broomsticks right there. In terms of the Honeyduke's sweet shop, definitely seems a little too juniorized for in my opinion. You've just got a standard wall piece making up the sides of the walls, and the door isn't really anything special, it's just a standard door and a frame. But there are still some unique aspects to it, especially in the way that the middle spire bisecting the roof is constructed. Of course, we get all new minifigures here. The only one that is remotely similar to minifigures that we've gotten in the past is the standard Episode 3 Harry Potter minifigure. Much like the prior set, this also comes with 4 random collectible wizard cards, which I'm already dreading having to go on Bricklink to complete my set, because that's going to be really frustrating to get them all. The interiors of the builds look suitably nice. It's a great use of the cup piece for the Butterbeer, which was introduced in the collectible minifigure series. I love to see that appear in standard sets, and generally it does look like they are well detailed. And finally, we have 2 last sets. Unfortunately, we only have 2 very grainy images of this as of the time of this recording, which is around 4 a.m. Eastern Time. I don't know if by the time I wake up there will be much more clearer images, or maybe LEGO will have told Amazon Spain to take these off. It's always a gamble. But of course we have 76387, which I think is Hogwarts Fluffy Encounter. The text right there is really blurry because this picture is unfortunately pretty low quality. Again, we've seen these pictures before, I just couldn't really report on them. easily the best thing in the set is getting a brand new mold for the head of Fluffy, which is definitely a callback to the original Fluffy sculpt from the 2001 Harry Potter sets, and really does look quite good. However, I'm gonna be totally honest, this build really isn't doing it for me. Almost feels just a little bit too juniorized, like they pushed it too far into the simple aspect, and ironically kinda looks like something that they would put out around 2001, maybe with a little less details and studs on the side building techniques, but really this is very similar to something that actually would have come out around that time, so I guess if you're looking at it as a 20th anniversary Harry Potter set, you do have that going for it, but in terms of a modern building set, definitely would have wanted more, especially because literally that entire wall is just made up of 3 large pieces. But then moving on to the final set, since there aren't many clearer images of that, we have set number 76386, Hogwarts Misfortune with the Polyjuice Potion. This may be a translation error or something like that, it kind of sounds like an awkward set name, but also kind of a funny sounding set name too. This one does include a brand new mold that goes over a minifigure head, which is meant to represent Hermione in cat form when she accidentally used the Polyjuice Potion for cat hair. I think it's a little uncanny in my opinion. I've seen some close-up images online. You can definitely look for them if you do want to find them. Can't show them here because they're factory leaks, but kind of a little bit of a strange piece if I'm going to be honest, but it is interesting to get that. I never really thought we would actually get that as a set, and if anything, I'd figure that they just reuse the standard cat earpiece and then just print the cat face, but they actually went above and beyond to create a new mold. What is really nice about this set though is that it integrates right in with the rest of the Hogwarts displays. In this image right here, you can see that if you place it on top of the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets, you can actually load minifigures through the sink and spiral all the way down to the chamber, which is really great set integration, and something that's definitely a callback to the original 2001/2002 Harry Potter sets. But with that, we've about summed up all of the 4 new Harry Potter images. It's very rare that images release or leak this early from official LEGO retailers, especially for stuff that doesn't appear like it'll actually be released until August like many of the other standard Harry Potter waves. Now, LEGO might do something a little different this year and release them in June, but if we're going off of past waves, they usually release in late summer, so definitely interesting to be seeing these images this early, and there are a few more sets coming. One of them is a pretty expensive chess set, which is meant to recreate that original chess scene from the first Harry Potter movie, as well as double as an actual functioning chess set, which I think is pretty cool. And there's also a few more Harry Potter sets beyond that coming, but in terms of images, this is what we have, so let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these new sets, and also what do you think of LEGO Harry Potter's new initiative to kind of go in a different direction and give us slightly more juniorized builds. Personally, I hope this doesn't stick and we return to the older style of building relatively soon, but I can definitely see this system having potential if they expound upon it with larger and more detailed sets. Thanks all for tuning into Duckbricks, that's all I have for right now, and definitely stay tuned for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. Thank you so much, and bye bye for now.